Happy Tuesday! Today we're going to chat about what you can plant in October, and we're also going to talk about the Great American Seed Up. The meeting that I'd like to have, like a seed up kind of plant and seed exchange, and then if you want to stick around, we're going to take a little peek at my garden. Okay, so this month is a very exciting month for planting. A lot of the more seasoned planters, gardeners here in the valley, if you will, tend to swear by October plantings just based on their experience. Now, you know, I'm always going to be pushing the envelope, so I've had my starts going for a couple weeks now, and I've tried some other things out here, but my starts are being real successful. But a lot of people, like I said, really look forward to and cherish this time of planting here in the valley, not just for vegetables but also for flowers. So there's 75 plus flowers that you're going to be able to plant here on coming up on October 1st. So this is a wonderful time, and it's a really great time because this is where we really get to push the limits on what people think can go on in the desert, because we can plant so many flowers now that are going to turn into this beautiful cut flower garden that you can make amazing bouquets with, or just enjoy there in your yard and bring lots and lots of pollinators to your yard. And by bringing in all the pollinators early in the spring, because that's about when all these flowers will start to come into bloom, and then all the pollinators are going to know that your garden is the place to be. So when all of your plants start to make their flowers for your vegetables and your food, then the pollinators are already be there and you won't be wondering where are the bees. So for today over here, we're going to first go through what you can plant vegetable wise, and this list honestly is going to stay pretty consistent throughout the season, with a couple of things popping in and a couple of things falling off, but right off the top we've got beets, bok choy, broccoli, cabbage of the Chinese varieties, carrots, cauliflower, celery, chard, collard greens. And then in the beans family, you can plant fava beans, garbanzo beans, and lentils, then dill, and most of the rest of your herbs. This is a good time to start planting those. Dill, cilantro, your parsley, and this is also the big time. This month and next month are the big windows for planting garlic, and you've seen me do that in a variety of ways. Sometimes it's not that easy to find through the nurseries and suppliers, so if you can get some nice cloves that are organic from Sprouts or Whole Foods or wherever you do your shopping, you can actually plant those individual cloves and reap the rewards come early spring, early summer next year. So this is garlic planting time. And then next you can plant kohlrabi, lettuce. You can plant both the leaf and the head variety. Also leeks, and along with the herbs and flowers, there's also going to be lavender that you can plant now. Then there's mustard greens, mizuna, and the onions. You can plant both the green onions and the bulb onions and multiplier onions now. And then we're going to move on to parsnips and parsley, peas. Then you can plant English peas, snow peas, snap peas, radishes, rutabaga, spinach, turnips, and thyme, and also sage. So pretty much all the little herbs that you'd like to have in your kitchen, now is the time to plant those. A little flip-flop, most of the people in different parts of the world are usually planting those in the spring, and they're harvesting through the summer and stuff, but we're actually going to plant them in the fall, and we're going to be harvesting in the spring. And some of those are going to be cut and come again, like the celery. So there's a lot of ways to preserve those herbs if you go ahead and get them going now. And you can also pick up plenty of transplants out there. There's lots of herb transplants out there right now in the valley. Now, to move on to this giant flower list, and I promise I would not do this if it wasn't such an amazing list, and I just want it to be a super source of encouragement that you can have so many beautiful things in your garden. And I promise you, if you plant the flowers, the bees will come, and that will mean so much for the garden that you're going to have in the spring and the summer. Okay, so let's get into this. So we've got African daisies, Argentum, Arcadis, asters, baby breath, begonia, bells of Ireland, Bigelow's purple aster, bishop's weed, black-eyed Susan, butterfly weed, calendula, candy tuft, carnations, calarchia, corabells, coreopus, cornflower, delphinium, desert marigold, desert milkweed, desert zinnia, dianthus, English ivy, evening primrose, flax, flowering tobacco. And I've heard a great tip about planting your flowering tobacco where you plan to plant your tomatoes, because it's a great way to distract the hornworms to go to the tobacco versus your tomato plant. So there's a little tip. So forget-me-not, foxglove, gaillardia, gazania, geranium, globe mallow. Now that grows wild everywhere in the valley. Gloriosa daisies, hollyhock, Indian paintbrush, Johnny jump ups, Jupiter beard, so larkspur, linaria, lobelia, lupine, lupine, marigold, Mexican hat, mignonette, nasturtia, nemesis, nemoringa, ornamental cabbage, ornamental kale, painted daisies, pansies, pestilums, petunias, phlox, pincushion flowers, poppies, both the California, the Shirley, and the Icelandic, primrose, ranunculus, sampoglius, salvia, got something in my eye, schisthanthus, Shasta daisies, shungla, chrysanthemum, snapdragon, spider flower, sweet alyssum, sweet pea, sweet sultan, verbena, violet, and yarrow. So that's just about 75 flowers that you can start planting now from seed, or again, a lot of those things that you can pick up at the nursery. So next up this weekend is the Great American Seed Up, and it's going to be at I think it's on like the North Baptist Church on Central, and I think it's Bethany Home. I'll try and put a link down below. So unlike last year, they are going to return to a live event. You can still package, you can purchase like a preset box of seeds. I think you also have some options for customizing what's in that box. Or, like I said, you can attend either one or two of the 2 days. It's a Friday and Saturday. So it'll be Friday in the evening and then Saturday during the day. So you can go live and you can scoop the individual seeds that you want, package them up, and take them home with you. There's going to be lots of classes that you can attend there. So those are some options if you like to get into some bulk seeds. You like to seed save. I've got issues, so I know I have plenty of seeds, but I always love going and getting their flower seeds, because I don't know, it just pushes me to get more exploratory with flowers. So that's one I would definitely recommend checking out there if you're like me and you already have a ton of seeds. But it's also a great way to stock up on seeds that you could share with your community or your family, and that's the whole point of the organization, is just to keep the supply chain of seeds open so that we can continue to grow our own food and manage our own food supply. Now, the final thing I want to chat about before we go check out my garden is I'd like to get together one of these Saturdays here in October coming up. October 9th is especially good for me. The girls, my youngest is playing flag football, so a lot of her games are on Saturday. Not that I couldn't work around that, but there is a bye week on the 9th, so that would be real convenient. And I'm looking at meeting again at Summer Winds. I'm gonna work out with them to get kind of that front area where the trees are, get some canopy set up and some tables. Most people have expressed a desire to kind of do more of like an open trade versus everyone sending seeds to me and then me packaging up the seeds and distributing them there. And that's been successful for us all the times that we've met up anyway. Everybody kind of bringing what they have extras of, and then people deciding if they're interested in that and going kind of from there. So I just need some feedback on when you'd be interested in doing that. You can let me know down below. You can email me at allpurposemama4@gmail.com. You can join my Facebook group, which is like the All-Purpose Mom. I think it's Seed Swap or Seed Exchange over on Facebook, and you can let me know there. You could also reach out to me on Instagram and let me know what day. I definitely would try to probably shoot to do it sometime like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning so it doesn't take up our whole day. But most of the time we end up kind of standing around and chatting and discussing what's going on in our garden. So it's kind of a nice time to fellowship as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, and let me know down below, like, what are you planting? Do you have some starts going? Are you gonna buy up most of your stuff? And what are you most excited to plant this year? Here's a little peek of my garden. This okra, I think because I didn't pick this one, there's some crazy bug on there. I don't think that's a squash bug though. I don't know. Looks like one of those border bugs, but it didn't do so hot. This is my pumpkin bed, and you know, it honestly looks pretty cool, but realistically, it's got some aphids going on, and it's not really going to be able to produce anything by October. Over there I see a baby, but again, I don't know if they're really getting pollinated, so I might just rip this out so I can cut down on the aphids. This is what's it called? A Punta Banda that I got from Leslie, and I propped it up here, but I think I probably need to move it because it's too close to these ants that are forming the aphids. I'm excited about that. That's kind of more of a paste tomato. The first bean I grew over here, the long beans, made a couple of beans and passed away. My hibiscus, during all that crazy wind and rain, it kind of went on an angle. I know now that they probably need more support than I gave them, but they're actually starting to make flowers and form the calyxes, and that one's about maybe 7 days old. I'm gonna see just if it'll get a little bit bigger before I harvest it, but it looks like I'm maybe gonna get some real action on this, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's again a long bean. This hibiscus is the same age, just kind of moving a little bit slower, but you can see that there's some flowers about to form in there. My beans, I don't know, they didn't really fill out the way that I thought they should. They got long, so I don't know. I'm not that great with beans right now. And this is a little update on my tray. This is week 1, this is week 2, so I've got still a great germination rate coming up in about 3 days when I using that kelp. Tomatoes over here are getting some of their second leaves, and so are some of the broccolis too, so that's exciting. And I actually got some little petunias to come up in there, so I'm thrilled about that. This pumpkin never looks happy because it's not in the shade, because I gave more room to the loofah, which the loofah looks like it's going down, and I don't have any loofahs. I've not gotten any flowers. I might as well just rip it out. Watermelon is actually made of watermelon, so we'll have to see how that goes. And it's just continuing to grow out this way, so if it can manage the temperature change, then maybe it will. These tomatoes, I moved from in there, and I should have maybe just left them there or moved them under the shade cloth, but they just kind of fried out here, and that's okay because I got more. My peppers are all kicking butt. They're making peppers like crazy, lots of flowers. So always remember, don't kill your peppers. Just let them keep going. Trim them, love them, and they'll keep making peppers for you. So we lost that one, but these three are all making peppers. The zinnia is happy. That's a pepper that we got, I got from one of the ladies when we last met up. My basil is really come back after the bunny. And so this is tomatillo I grew from seed. This is the one I just bought. It looks totally dead, but I'm still watering it. This is a bunch of celebrities that I got. So celebrities are not a huge slicer, but a nice size slicer. So this was a 6-pack that I just had to have at Summer Winds. And my eggplant over here, it's big, but I don't know. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I was just about to say, but I don't know that it's doing anything, but holy moly, there's one of those cute little eggplants. So I've never had these before, but I'm excited to try them. So there's my little garden. I hope you have the best day ever, and I hope that you are excited to get into some cooler weather, away from these mosquitoes and on to better days. Have the best day ever.